Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wine with Jimmy YouTube channel. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and this is a wine educational channel designed to help you get much more out of the world of wine, specifically for those of you studying the world of wine, getting really knee deep into the wonder and all of those multidisciplines that it includes, to give you the confidence to, of course, ace your examinations. So welcome to a series here on the diploma, WSET level 4. It's Wines of the World, the big D3 section, and this is on Burgundy. Now this is series 2. So this is on Chablis, and it's a rather big section, but a wonderful section. So it's a 9-part series. That's a lot. But we're going to go through everything to do with Chablis, from the introduction history through vineyards, AOCs and winemaking. So please do join me for this journey. Now, parts 1 to 3 will be available as free content here on the world of YouTube, but parts 4 through to 9 will only be available on my e-learning portal. That's over at www.winewithjimmy.com. where you can gain exclusive access to a huge amount of extra content and also things to help you with your studies. If you have any questions or any comments or any concerns, then of course, please do get in touch. You can comment on this video below here on YouTube in the comments section. Please make sure you click like and subscribe as well. Like and subscribe. You can also use social media at the bottom of every slide if you are that way inclined. We love to see if you are studying. Some people are on treadmills, some people are, I don't know, on holiday, and they're listening to these. I don't know why you do it on holiday, but some people do. So let's rock and roll with the world of Chablis. Just going to talk a bit about its location, then a bit around its history and sort of typicity in the styles of Chablis. So here we are in terms of Chablis, a little map of it. Now, Chablis is the name of a town, and it's also the name, of course, of an appellation, a wine. And this lies in the valley of the river Serein, and that's what you see in blue on your map. And this is really in the northern part of Burgundy, as we learned from the last series. So it's very close to places like the Loire, places like Sancerre, and it's very close to places like Champagne as well. So we're around the Yonne department, very close to the city of Auxerre. Yeah, it's in this little valley and in a little world of its own, I suppose, in terms of the major Burgundian areas. It's about 110 kilometers to the northwest of Dijon, which is the northern tip of the Côte d'Or. That's where that arrow is pointing towards on the bottom right-hand corner of the map. And it will take you about 2 hours to drive down to somewhere like Beaune in the heart of Burgundy. A little bit of history for you. So first of all, we have a really important monastery just here. This is an abbey. This is an abbey which was built by Cistercian monks. It's the Abbey of Pontigny. It's about 15 kilometers to the north of Chablis, and it provided a huge impetus to viticulture in this region. Now, in connection with Clos Vougeot, they produced red and white wine here. And the monks here agreed with the Abbey of Saint-Martin-de-Tours to begin producing wines in Chablis in return for a payment, 10 barrels of wine per year. So they were putting their skills to play from the Loire here at the Abbey of Pontigny. So it's really an impetus, a starting point, a catalyst to wine production in the area. And we have a bit more here. So the Dukes of Burgundy, which have been discussed previously on the history of Burgundy, they ruled the Dukedom of Burgundy, remember, an area west of the Saône River, for about 110 years as an independent kingdom. And they were huge ambassadors, as we've mentioned, for Burgundian wines. Now, Chablis was quite well known. It became very well known in a poem in the 12th century. It actually predates the Dukes of Burgundy, called La Bataille de Vannes. And it's written by a Franciscan called Fra Salambin, and it marveled in the quality of Chablis. So you'll see that there. It is a white wine, sometimes golden, that has an aroma and body, an exquisite and generous flavor, and fills the heart with a happy confidence. Whenever I have a lovely wine, that's pretty much the words that start coming out of my mouth as well. So Chablis on the River Sereine was originally under the protection of the Counts of Champagne, occupied by an English garrison after the defeat of Charles VII at nearby Cravant in 1423, then eventually absorbed into the Dukedom of Burgundy. Now, a little bit around exports fames, and then I'll get the train in this as well. So the first white Burgundy to appear in a Christie's sale was a Chablis. So this was actually catalogued as Chablais, so Chablet at that time. And that was in 1770. So the first Burgundy, the first white Burgundy. In 1793, the Prince of Wales, the future King George IV, listed it as one of his favourite wines. And vineyards boomed when the region was connected to Paris by train in 1886. And many varieties were planted in the whole area, not just Chardonnay that we know today, but including Sassy and extinct varieties such as Damary, and also one called Hivernage as well. The department of the Yonne, which, around Chablis, actually had around 40,000 hectares at this period. So a real boom at that time. Now, with the onset of powdery mildew, downy mildew, and phylloxera, this caused a devastating blow to the region. Coupled with railway lines connecting to the south of France, so we talked about connecting up to Paris and gaining a boom as a market, connecting to the south of France, Dijon down towards Lyon down towards Avignon down towards Marseille. This created increased competition, which meant that Chablis really started to struggle. Along with the devastating effects of World War I and World War II, rural depopulation as well after the wars, and also the devastating frost of 1945, it really reduced Chablis to a low point at the end of the Second World War of around 500 hectares. But then we have industrialization, we have agrochemicals, fertilizers, stability in France. And in fact, we're now up to over 5,000 hectares. So it's increased from 500 to 5,000 in the last 60, 70 years or so. Chablis Style, as I'm sure you are well aware, it's very well known. It's well known, of course, for Chardonnay white wines, and the wines are dry. They are kind of light to medium bodied for the most part, medium alcohol with zesty high acidity, green apple and lemon fruit characters. You'll get good to outstanding wines, the whole range. And the prices are normally kind of mid-part price to premium with some super premium examples, but they don't tend to be as ridiculously high priced as the Côte d'Or. Expect minerality. I've got a bit of flint and whetstones up there as well. And just a little bit about the winemaking. The general trend here is for no or minimal oak characteristic, though fermentation and aging in oak can happen, but it's often for Premier or Grand Cru with some philosophies of estates, but not all of them. But it tends to be older oak. Only a very few percentages of new oak is used. Malolactic will tend to be carried out for the most part because the acidity is very, very high. And then things like lees can happen, but often it's fine lees and it tends to be quite minor. And at the lower end of the wines, you do tend to avoid it. So that's it for the introduction and the history of Chablis. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. Now, What we've got next up, which is another free video, is the climate of Chablis. So talking about the climate, weather, and problems that you will find. And please do join me for that. It's part 2. It's available here on YouTube. If you do have any comments, questions, or concerns, of course, you can get in touch. And you can do so by commenting on this video below. And please make sure you click like and subscribe whilst you are down there. And remember, you can also utilize the social media you see at the bottom of every slide. And until next time, if you find yourself in London, in the United Kingdom, come and see me at one of my establishments for a class, a glass, or a bottle. I've been Jimmy Smith. Ciao for now. Goodbye.